Thank you, Robert. I was on mute. How about that? This is episode number 838 of the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. Today is Monday, May 27th. Sorry about the mute. I will be here for the next hour trying to answer your immigration law related questions. I am in San Diego for today and tomorrow. And I will be, I might do a show tomorrow, might not. Tomorrow's sort of a crazy day. But I am in town for an event tomorrow night. Oh, yeah, it's Tuesday. Oh, yeah, thanks, Robert. That's why Heen had the day. I thought Heen had the day wrong. I had the day wrong. I've been saying it's been Monday all day. Do you guys do that with Memorial Day? It just seemed so much like a Sunday yesterday. I will fix that. Today is Tuesday, the 27th, and this is episode 838. How's everybody doing? How was your weekend? Let us know what you did in the comments. Robert, thanks for squaring me away. We had a lot of softball, Nor's first softball tournament of the season, and they came in second place out of about 20 teams. So they did not win the championship, but it was a good tournament. They did really well, and a lot of good things to be hopeful about. Like I said, I'm here in San Diego. I got the Cardinals on over here, and I got you guys on here. I got TikTok going. A couple real quick questions from TikTok. Is it okay to bring your newborn baby to USAS interview with your spouse? I would not do that. It's not whether it's okay or not. The question is whether it's a good idea, whether it's going to make the officer happy or angry. And I think it's just a bad idea. I actually was talking about this with a client the other day. I think bringing a baby to your green card interview is the easiest way to make sure that you get a Stokes interview. So if you don't know what a Stokes interview is, that's when they separate you and your spouse, because as soon as the child, whatever age they are, starts crying or acting up or whatever, then they're going to say, you take that kid outside. I'm going to ask this person a lot of questions. So it's really an easy way to make sure that you get a Stokes interview. And of course, nobody wants a Stokes interview. So that's not a good thing. All right. The other question from TikTok was, do we take payment plans? Yes, we have payment plans. Usually it's about half up front and then the rest over time. All right. Let's go to interview next month. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, thank you. What about yourself?
What's up? I'm good.
Um, I wanna ask a couple of questions because my partner and I have an appointment for next month, and we are a little bit nervous
Okay.
about the whole process because she is my second marriage, and I got divorced in 2022 officially, but we got married in 2024, and it was like a different kind of marriage because before I was um, married to a man and now it's to a woman. I don't know if that matter. And
That's
oh,
okay.
that's okay. And also in the form when we were completing it, we put that she haven't worked in the United States, but we she did before. And
Okay.
about
So let's
bringing a letter, but we are not
yeah,
sure.
let's talk about all this stuff. Okay. So first of all, you're a U.S. citizen,
Yes, I am.
and were you born in the United States?
No, I was naturalized.
And how did you get your green card? Was it based on your prior marriage?
No, I got it through my father because my aunt petitioned him
Perfect.
many years ago.
Great. And then the person that you married the first time, did you apply to get them a green card?
Yeah,
So this is your second green card case.
yeah.
And how long were you married to the man altogether?
Since 2017, 5 years in total.
Okay. So who filed for divorce? You or your spouse?
It was an agreed divorce. It looks like it was both of us.
What stage of his immigration status were things at when that happened?
He was resident, and I was resident when that happened, and we divorced in the same place that we got married in Dominican Republic.
Yeah. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about the timing of everything. So anytime someone gets a green card for one person and then divorces them and marries someone else and tries to get them a green card, both marriages come under scrutiny, not just the new one. So I would expect there, and that doesn't even take into effect the fact that the first time is a man, the second time it's a woman. I'm not that concerned about that. I've had that before, but you might have to explain that to them. They might ask a little bit about that. I think I've had that happen probably 4 or 5 times. And if it's a question or two, that's the most that they do is like sort of what happened, or they might say, what was going on with that, or was, you might have to prove that the first marriage was real and not just to get him a green card. And you might have to prove that this marriage is real, and then you're not just trying to get her a green card.
Is there any advice of?
Yeah.
I mean, both of them were real. One was a relationship of 10 years. The reason why it ended was because I guess we were not mature enough. I was really young when I got married. I was 18 years old.
Sure.
And through time and the pandemic arrived, he was in my country while I was petitioning him. And when we came here, like we split up because it wasn't the same thing and we couldn't agree in so many things.
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. So he came through an immigrant visa process, he didn't adjust status.
Exactly. Yeah.
So then that means you didn't actually live together all that long. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair. We just when he came here, even though I petitioned him in 2017, he arrived in 2021, and after 5 months we split up. Yeah.
Okay. So yes, I do have advice. My advice is that you need to hire a lawyer to get you and your spouse ready for this interview. You need to figure out how can we prove that both marriages are real. And really what you need is someone to come after both of you independently and like try to scare you so that you're ready for the interview in case it goes hard. And I think you want to have an attorney at your interview because I think they're going to split you up.
And in that case, since the appointment is too soon, do I have enough time to hire somebody still, or is too late for that?
When is it?
Um, June 17th.
Yeah, that's enough time for someone to get ready. Sure.
And to get ready, but you said like to invite, like the lawyer can go with us to the appointment or not really?
Yeah, that's the best thing. Yeah, that's what you want, because then if they separate you, the lawyer can keep track of the questions that you both get asked. I mean, the lawyer can get you ready. The lawyer can scare the crap out of you so that, like, in my mind, the way that I like to do it is I like to beat the people down and then build them back up. Like, let them see how scary it could actually be. And then we talk about how to make it better.
Understood. Is there any document that we need in order to bring a lawyer to the interview, or if we hire a lawyer right now, they can just go as part of us?
Yeah. I mean, they would bring there's a form, but they would just bring it with them and have you sign it. I mean, you can email me and we can talk about it, but there's just it's called a G28. You would just sign it probably on the day of the interview.
Perfect. And what about the work answer that we did in the form that we said that she wasn't working and now she's working? In that is that also an additional complication in our interview?
It's not a big deal. So did you file for your wife without a lawyer?
Yeah, I filed without a lawyer. Somebody help us to fill out the documentation, but we don't have a lawyer.
Yeah. So if you're going to bring a lawyer, tell them to fix that. They can bring it. We can fix it before we go. Or if you're not going to hire a lawyer, then go on my YouTube channel and look for. I'll put the phrase in the comments. It's called an errata sheet, and you make an errata sheet. You basically type out the question that you got wrong, and then you fix it, and then you hand it to them at the start of the interview.
Thank you so much, sir, for your answer and support. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, that applying for someone and then applying for someone else is always complicated. Applying for someone of a different gender, or if you're, like I had a case once where a fellow said that he was gay and that's why he couldn't go back to Nigeria, and then he married a woman and got a green card. So it can be tricky. Nurse Laura is asking about small claims court. The tricky thing with small claims court is, Laura, usually it's easy to win and hard to collect. That's the hard part. So let's say that she said she had a problem with a valet who damaged her car. I mean, one, you're going to have to prove that up, but two, you have to ask yourself, I mean, I don't know how much damage they did to the car, but if it's relatively minor, I'd probably just go the Better Business Bureau route, the Google review route. And I mean, you could chase them for a year trying to get your judgment collected, if that makes sense. A few $1,000. Yeah, okay. So that's not nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, small claims court is fun. You'll like it. You'll get to be like a lawyer. We can help get you ready. And is it in Washington or is it in California? Hopefully it's in California. So they won't help you on Google reviews. Okay. All right. Well, let's go to Saul. Hello, Saul. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I have a question. I'm applying for naturalization based on asylum granted.
Okay.
So my question was like, when I apply my green card, regarding the question, have you arrested? I answered yes, and I mentioned the arrested situation on my asylum. But now, when I see in my asylum, in the arrest in the I-589, I mentioned one arrest, but on the affidavit, I mentioned two incidents. One is arrest, another is detention. I didn't mention it in my green card because it was brief. I thought like the question was just arrested, not the detention. They leave you like within 1 day. So now I'm confused. Should I, in my naturalization, should I include it? Did they say like why you didn't mention it?
So let's say the question says, have you ever been arrested, cited, and detained? If we add all of those up, how many do you have?
With detained, two.
Two? One arrest and one detained?
Yes.
And tell me about the detained that you didn't mention.
It was like a brief incident. So like the police arrested us and they inquired us, but since they couldn't find any documents, they let us. So like that's why like it slips from my mind. Like
Yeah, and which agency was it?
no, I mean this is back home. This is not the US.
Oh. And what did it involve? Like a traffic matter or what?
No, it's like it's a religious issue. Like there are banned religions.
I can't understand what you're saying. I'm sorry.
It is on religious issue. It's religion.
Okay. Well, it doesn't sound like something that would keep you from getting asylum or keep you from getting a green card, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. I would probably disclose it, but I can't say for sure. I'd want to know a little bit more about it.
Okay. So like my question is like can they ask me like because in the affidavit I mentioned it, but in the green card application I just mentioned one. So they say like why you forget it on green card application? Now I am applying for naturalization.
I think your answer was the truth. Your truthful answer was a good one, which is it was so minor I didn't think anything about it, and I thought you knew about it from my asylum case.
Okay. So do you think like for this one, do you need it lower or something, or is this?
I mean, I think that anybody who's applying for citizenship based off asylum while Trump is president should, at the very least, have a lawyer go over their entire immigration file, because there might be things that you're not spotting that a lawyer would spot.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye, Saul. See you, bud. All right, let's go to Make. Hello, Make.
What's up?
How you doing?
Next. Yeah.
What's up?
Hello?
Yeah, you got a question for me?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Jim?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm better, right? Salam alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Kif hala?
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. I want to test you tonight. You passed the test, Jim.
Okay.
How you?
I'm good. What's up?
Yeah, Jim, I got a question for you, man. My uncle, he got an interview coming up on Friday. And Friday. He's scared. He's scared to go. So is there any way he could reschedule or just not to show up? It'd be a problem.
Well, what is he applying for?
He applying for marriage his green card, but he does have a long time criminal record though. But ain't nothing crazy. But he qualified for 601, which he filed. But I don't know. He just scared about what's going on right now with USIS.
Well, is he admissible? Is it a deportable offense, or I mean, that's a hard. I
No,
mean,
the it's only, I think it was 5 month imposed, but immigration hold him before because they wanted to deport him and they couldn't. His country wouldn't take him, so they let him go. It was 5 months served, So that's the biggest thing of his record. The other ones just like citation, $50, $75, but he's scared.
so I think that he should be scared if he was on the verge of being deported.
No,
And
he wasn't ready to be deported because of that. He filed asylum, and he didn't show up. He didn't have a lawyer then. He didn't know that he was supposed to go to court after the asylum office. So, and he never received a letter to go to the court. That's why they were trying to deport him now because that. And after those crimes, he even traveled and he came back. They let him in like 4 years ago. He didn't have a no more crime after that. Those crime I'm talking about, they're like 20 years ago, 20 plus.
well, that doesn't matter. The length of time doesn't matter. So, um, Make, you're asking me a question that's really hard for me to answer
Hmm.
because it might be a deportable offense, and he might be under the jurisdiction of the immigration court, even though they closed proceedings. He might not be able to adjust at USCIS. If what you said is true, that he was this close, or that they were trying to deport him, but his country wouldn't take him, that sounds to me like withholding or something else. So I think if he's not working with an attorney, that's nuts to me.
No, he's working with attorney. He's working. He just don't trust. His attorney said not to worry about it. He's really low risk to them. They not. He said if they really was looking for him, they would have went to his house or they would have,
No one can say that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Make.
Yeah. So what do you think, Mike? He should go or what he
Dude,
should
I
do?
don't. That's impossible for me to say. He might be walking into deportation. I don't know. How would I know based on what you've told me? I don't know what the crimes are. I know that he was on the verge of getting deported. He didn't show up for his asylum case. He's probably out of status. He's probably
Mm,
under the jurisdiction of the court, and he probably fucked this all up. That's what I'll tell you. It sounds bad to me.
wow. All right. Thank you.
See ya. I mean, I don't have a crystal ball. I don't have a 800-page FOIA. This guy's got a complicated immigration history. I mean, I can't say, oh, yeah, sure, it's safe. Hey, Junior, if you turn off your camera, I'll call you up next. Right now, I'm going to go to Jay Dizzle for Shizzle. Hello.
Hey Jim, how's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I've been enjoying your shows here. I'm in the Bay Area, so I'm actually close to where you're at now.
Oh,
The
cool.
question I have is, I am a U.S. born citizen, and I'm seriously dating someone who's from Sweden,
Okay.
and my news feed is completely on immigration questions that I've had, and my concern is, if we're serious and we want to get married, it 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 isn't as clear to me. Do we do the marriage from outside the US and inside the US? From what I've read or heard, is if you do it from outside the US, it may prevent travel into the US while
True.
that is happening.
True.
And that seemed that currently this may take upwards to 2 to 3 years.
True.
So if that's the case, it's almost like pushing me towards doing it from within the US. And I understand the intent of when you come in on on a visa and what that means and everything else. But my question is under that premise, um, how long currently before you can get either a work permit or able to travel? I think that's my main question, or first question, I should say.
Okay. So if somebody enters the United States on visa waiver program or with a visa, they would have to wait at least 60 days to get married. And of course, they couldn't have that intent to do that. This would have to be something that they decide to do
Spontaneous, yeah.
when they're here, and they find out that it would take 3 years to do it through consular processing, right? And then if such a person came to the United States and then got married and applied for adjustment, I would strongly recommend that they not leave the United States until they have their green card. So I would take advanced parole off the discussion.
Okay.
So then you're talking about how long does it take to get a work card, and so let's say you wait 3 months to get it on file, to get receipt notices, then you get fingerprinted, and then you get a work card probably somewhere in 4 to 8 months. So it's a good long while, 6 to 10 months maybe, before they can work.
Okay. And because I mean, to me, it sounds, I think I was just watching a video about, I think how you phrase it, what people think is straightforward cases, that video.
Okay.
Um, when do you recommend a lawyer being involved always, or is it depending on the case and circumstance, or is it dependent on the progression of your case?
I'm of the position now that in Trumplandia, anybody applying for an immigration benefit other than renewing their green card should have a lawyer helping them.
Okay. And I think it came up earlier in regards to criminal history.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any in the US. Oh, I should say I don't have any. My
In the
my
U.S. or
part
otherwise.
otherwise, yeah. My partner, she doesn't have a history, but I believe she might have been charged. So when it comes to the person that you're sponsoring, is it um just do they have to be convicted of whatever it is for it to impact the immigration packet, or just a charge
A
depending on the
charge can, a,
dissolution?
a charge can lead to questions which might make them not let someone in, and of course, the biggest thing that would be drugs. So,
No,
if
it wasn't that related, yeah.
yeah. So, she'll have to get a police certificate for anywhere she's lived since she turned 16 for more than 6 months. So, um, they'll probably ask for the arrest report, probably, and then she'll have to explain it, and they'll want to know, is there anything in this police report that worries us that would make us not want to give her a visa?
Okay.
So it should be okay.
Okay. Thank you. That's really the main question I have. So it just sounds like in today's climate, this is just the path the majority people are taking, um
I wouldn't
under
say
the
I wouldn't say that. There's still a lot of people. We're still filing lots of cases for overseas people. There's a lot of people who are too nervous to try to do it here in the United States. They're willing to wait, or they have other reasons why they're not in a hurry to get to the United States, or they can't spend 8 months not working.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about. And last question, I know there's other people wanting to talk. So let's
Yeah.
say we do it all in-house in the US, and for some reason they deny it
Hmm.
and she has to leave. Is that the all be all, or is there at
It
that
depends.
point we can do it from
That,
outside
that's
of the US?
that's very unusual. I mean, most cases we file get approved here. I don't know that I've really had many people get denied here at all. And then if they did get denied, we would probably just reapply. We wouldn't send them home to start over.
Okay, cool. That's great. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. All right, Aubrey reminds me of my comment the other day that Aubrey said that I was conservative on travel, and I was thinking about that quote today, and I like that quote. You guys know that I sort of got fired up the other day talking about that. But let's think about old Uncle Jim. Old Uncle Jim has been telling people since the election that if you can avoid travel outside the United States, that you should avoid travel outside the United States. And of course, one group of people that I routinely tell to not leave the United States are who? International students. And what do I say? I say, international students shouldn't leave the United States because if they do, they might not get their visas to come back to the United States. So you guys all know that a visa is your ticket into the United States. A visa is your ticket into the United States. And you can stay in the United States once your ticket has expired. But if you leave to go back home and your ticket has expired, your visa has expired, you have to go to the embassy and get a new visa. Well, guess what? Marco Rubio sent out a notice today directing all of the consulates around the world, so every embassy around the world, they told them to not process or issue student visas. Now, there are students around the world who've gone through all the hassle of trying to get a student visa, of making sure they have enough funding for their visa, making sure they have all their paperwork done. And now, just because they can, the Trump people said, we're going to pause this, allegedly because they have to do more social media checking of international students. It's total bullshit. It's a power move. It's because they want to stop legal immigration to the United States, which is what I've been telling you all for a long time. Marco Rubio should indeed change his name to Turd Ferguson. It's terrible. It's terrible because they already have the DS 5535. I don't think we can sue Department of State over this because the president, as I mentioned, has a ton of discretion in who they give a visa to and whether they give visas at all. So it's a political thing. It's absolutely unacceptable. I don't think the Supreme Court's going to hammer them on this. I think they have a lot of discretion, and this is why I always tell people I'd rather have a fight about somebody's immigration status. I'd rather have that fight in the United States than to have it overseas because there's not much that you can do. Well, it's student visa. It's student visas. So students come from all over, but yeah, predominantly not from white countries. I agree with you, Robert. So it's terrible. Last week we had the Trump nominee to head USCIS say that he wanted to do away with optional practical training, which is the way that most international students find jobs in the United States. And I really wasn't able to understand why. Like, in my mind, I always said to myself, why would anyone attack international students? Why would anyone try to cut off that funding source? International students come to the United States, they work for US companies, they start companies at a higher rate. Why in the world would anyone want to attack them? Until I remembered that a white America doesn't like brown people or Asian people or black people from Africa coming to the United States. They want to, they're mad that there's too many Asians at Harvard. And I can't believe how dumb I was to miss it, that it's just a straight racist thing. Like, these kids from China are taking all of our slots at Harvard and Yale. It's total bullshit. So it's outrageous. Marco Rubio knows better. He's worse than Trump because he knows better, but he's such a weasel and so craven and power hungry that he would sell his soul working for Satan himself, Donald Trump. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. International students have to be asking themselves, why do I want to go to the United States? Why do I want to go back to the United States? Why do they hate us so much? Why do they hate us so much? It's crazy. Let's say hi to Junior. Hello, Junior.
Hey, Jim, thank you.
Sure. How you doing?
Well, I have a question for you.
Wait. You gotta turn off your mic. Something else is playing back. Are you there? Well, I still have to. But you
Is that better, Jim?
a little bit. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, now I can hear you better now. Okay, is that much better for you?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Thank you very much for all your advice and you helping us all. It's been I married my husband back in June. I'm sorry, 2024. He entered the country in June last year, 2024. 2 years and 2 months exactly after we got married in Costa Rica. The officer at the entry point stamped the endorsed the visa that he came in CR1 into a IR1 visa, which he was supposed to get a 10-year green card. About 2 weeks later, we received his social security number, of course, and of course, an error on the green card. The clarification of the CR1 instead of IR1 visa. I mean, green card, I should say. I submitted the I-190, of course, and they send us back a no balance due. We'll just notify you we need anything else, as you suggested in one of your videos, that they'll
Yeah.
fight you for the fee.
Yeah.
So they have, with that letter and the zero balance, which they sent us a couple of times, they kind of admitted that they goofed. And that does not surprise me. Um, my question is to you: his green card, the temporary green card they gave him, the conditional green card they gave him expires next June 6th, on next the following year, 2026. In the portal, it still says he's got like 25 more months to waiting time. So my question to you would be, when the time comes to the conditional green card, we have to file the I-751 and pay the fee and go through all this process all over again, which is what we try to avoid. That's why he entered the country more than 2 years after. Or should we go after them legally in the lawsuit to make them admit the mistake and issue the green card that my husband's entitled to get, the 10-year green card?
So I have one question, Junior.
Hmm.
On the day that your husband got his visa to the United States, was that after 2 years of marriage or before 2 years of marriage?
Before 2 years of marriage.
So he took a good long while to come to the United States.
Yeah, a long time. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. So I think they might be right. I think you might supposed to you there's a chance that you're supposed to have that he's supposed to have a conditional green card. Um, I've done a memo on this that I can summarize for you. If you email me and say, "Hey, this is Junior. I was on the show with Jim on Tuesday night at around 5:30," and say, "Jim told me he would let me know if my husband is supposed to have a 2-year or a 10-year green card." I can answer it really quickly. I'm just not at my office for a couple of days, so it'll probably be over the weekend.
Okay, that's fine. I could email you that, and I could email you some paperwork if you wish to
Yeah.
see it.
Yeah. I try. I mean, I try. Just send me the timeline and your cell phone number. That's all I really need. Like the day that you apply, the day you got married, the day you applied, the day he had his visa interview, the day he got his visa, the day that he entered the United States. That's all I need.
Okay, great. I could do that. Put it together and I'll email it to you.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, though, I think he is a conditional resident.
Oh, okay. All right. So it doesn't matter whether he entered like 2 years after into the country.
Yeah, and I can see sort of from their point of view why they would do it like that, because then anybody who was like close, like 1 year and 9 months, 1 year and 10 months, they would just wait till the 2 years are up, because I'm 99% sure it's when the visa was issued, not when you actually come.
Okay. All right. So I could do that. I could email you the information, a little reminder and note,
Yep.
and then that way you could see it for yourself.
Perfect. Thanks, Junior.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you very much for your help.
You got it. See ya. All right, that was Junior. I think Junior's husband was supposed to get a 10-year green card. All right, I'm gonna go to Patrick, then Coop, then Ruhi, but Ruhi's got to turn off their camera. All right, Patrick.
Hey, Jim. Thank you so much for taking the time here. I'm calling from Canada. I'm a Canadian, but born and raised in India. So originally from India, moved to Canada. What I'm currently planning to do is start a full-time MBA program in the US, either in Washington State or in New York State.
Okay.
With the current process, I know Canadians have a different privilege where they can actually can just go into the border. In this case, I live in a border town, and I do travel every weekend to see my friends in Seattle and stuff like that as well. And would that be a concern if I do travel in a full-time student status, asking for a student? In this case, it will be student visa.
Wait, you're of the mindset that you can get issued a student visa at the border?
But for Canadian, the visa process is there is no appointment for an interview to be handled. So you just need to have I-20 from the university, and then you have to have a strong ties of connection to Canada, and then also you should have a strong proof of financial. So those are the two scenarios they will ask for a Canadian to when you cross in a border. My question was, since I've been traveling almost every weekend and I have a lot of friends there and things like that, would that be a flag for them, like saying, hey, you're already traveling a lot, now you wanted to go to school for full time? Would that be a concern?
Okay. So I would say yes.
Okay.
I would say yes. I would also say that in my whole life as an immigration attorney, I've never heard that you can enter on an F1 or get an F1 at the border. But Laura says you're right that you can.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey, I do have a Canadian immigration lawyer friend. We could have her on. I bet she'd like that. But yeah, I mean, I think that the fact that you come every weekend, I think that actually cuts against your argument that you have significant ties back in Canada, And plus, did you say that originally you're an Indian national?
Correct. Yes.
So then, I mean, you're sort of rolling the dice with one CBP official because, I mean, I don't want to freak you out, right? But
Right.
there was that case where the lady tried to get a TN down in San Diego, and they threw her in detention for 11 days, and then they gave her expedited removal, and then she couldn't come back for 5 years.
Right.
So obviously it's a different situation and it's a different CBP office, but I mean, I would be worried about putting my future in the hands of a random CBP officer. I mean, it's probably faster. Well, and actually right now, as of right now today,
Yeah.
you can't get a student visa. I don't think that's going to last long.
Right.
But yeah, I think that would. I don't know. I mean, if it comes down to that being your only choice, yeah. But otherwise, I'd probably want to get a visa through the embassy myself if I were you.
Right. Oh, I mean, there's even if I go, I mean, there is no embassy process. Actually, that's the thing. There's no requirements for Canadians to book an appointment or an interview. The
Oh, you're
only
saying you're saying there's no way to get an F1 visa at the embassy.
correct for Canadians. So the Canadians either have all their documents ready, fly from Canadian airport, or they can actually cross through the land border. So
Wow.
I live in a border town, and they can just go into the document with all your stuff. Basically, you packed and get ready and going for school. That's when you provide these details, and they accept you. So that's usually the normal, straightforward case. There is no big flux. The school also said the same. One caveat, though, the university that I'm looking at is the Fordham University in New York City.
I just drove by there the other day.
Yeah. They also had disputes with Trump administration. They just the students got currently revoked their visa, and then for some reason they've been given back again. But these are the university that is like
because we sued their ass. That's why.
right.
Well, I would have a long discussion with the international student advisors
Okay.
at Fordham and see what they say.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds like that's the only shot you have, right?
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. And then final thing is I actually I did had a Nexus card, which is let me think through this. Sorry, I had a Nexus card before, so the Nexus to travel between the US and Canada without any concern. I mean, fast lane, whatnot. In Canada, though, one time it got revoked, or that Nexus card wasn't revoked. Would that be a flag for US?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I see. All right. Any other suggestions from the Canadian side, if having any strong financial background or strong ties to Canada would support me on this?
There's lots of comments in the chat. Go ahead and check that out. I'm going to let you go, Patrick. Good luck, buddy.
All right. Thank you.
See ya. All right, let's go to Coop. Hello, Coop.
Yeah. Hey, Jim. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you great.
Great. Thanks. I think this is a quick one, but everyone says that, so I'll hope it's a quick one.
All good.
So I'm on a conditional marital green card right now,
Okay.
and I'll file the 751 at the end of the year in December, January timeframe. Everything's good with the marriage. All's well on that front. The issue I have is that there are layoffs coming in my company, and I'm just trying to understand what those implications are for me. So if I were to get laid off, do you think there might be any public charge implications if I filed for unemployment?
No.
Okay. The Trump administration you don't see them having anything on the horizon that could suddenly bite me in the butt?
I mean, do I think they sit around and think up evil things to do all day? Yeah. Do I think they're targeting people who are already pretty darn close to citizenship? No. So I mean, let's say it's a 2% chance.
Okay.
I'd be much more worried about finding a new job than I'd be worried about this.
I'm very worried about finding a new job, but that's also all on the horizon.
What do you do?
I work for a big tech company, and the market's kind of flooded for the tech companies right now.
Yeah,
and and with government layoffs as well, there's just like hundreds upon hundreds of applications for every single position. So I'm not sure, like, certainly, it'll be a full-time job finding a job, but then you never know how long that process might take. And if I go for unemployment, I just want to know that it wouldn't bite us in the butt.
No, I think you're fine.
Okay. All right. Terrific. So it was kind of a quick question. Thanks, Jim.
Good luck, Coop.
Thanks.
All right. The Cardinals are driving me nuts over here, making dumb mistakes left and right. What the heck? How do you get thrown out? What in the hell is he doing? Oh, yeah, he's way out. All right. Let's go to Ruhi. Hello.
Hi, Jim. Thank you for having me. So I am on an L1A. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I have been on an L1A since 2022, and I'm with a tech company in consultancy. So I work for a client. I've been working for them for 9 years. My L1A, which was issued, was with the location as New Jersey, but based on, internal client comfort and agreements with my partners, I came to St. Louis, and I've been here since then. I don't really travel a lot to New Jersey for work. My work is remote, and so is my client. So both my company and my client office are in New Jersey, but I have been staying here. My internal company records have the address as New Jersey, so my salary slips, all of those mention. But of course, when I file for tax, it does mention St. Louis, the state tax. I want to, and sorry, one more thing. My GC was filed and I-140 was approved in 2023. It's filed under EB1 and priority date is not current. But even in my GC, I-140, it was filed from New Jersey, not from St. Louis. So my question is that what are my risks staying in St. Louis, given my L1A extension would be due next year, 2026? And if I have any risks, what should I do?
So Ruhi, I myself have not had a lot of experience with L1As, and I don't know if there's a geographic requirement like there is with an H1B.
Okay.
If you email me, though, I can put you in contact with Andrew, one of the attorneys in our office. He does all the employment stuff, and he should be able to answer that question.
Sure. I'll email you with the details.
Thanks, Ruhi.
Sorry, one more quick question.
Sure.
I intend to travel to India. I had traveled last month, and there's something in the family for which I would want to travel in August as well for 2 weeks. And I work remotely, so I also work from India. Do you think that can be an issue while coming back?
Do you have a current stamp in your passport?
Yes, my L1 is stamped. My I-140, everything is fine. Like,
I mean, right now I'm telling anyone who's not a U.S. citizen not to travel till the end of the year till we see what they're doing. So I would prefer that you not travel.
okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Bye, Ruhi. Hey, I've been sort of ignoring TikTok over here. If I have a lawyer who helped with my work permit, can I change? I don't trust them. Yeah, sure, you can always change. You're the boss, not the lawyer. Went for my interview and they gave me a paper saying notice of interview results. Is that bad? No, most cases they can't tell you anymore right away that they are going to approve it or deny it. They just sort of tell you later. All right. Z. Hello, Z.
Assalamu alaikum, Jim.
Salam, Z. How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. And yourself?
Good. What's up?
So I finally got approved my a conditional the I-75 got finally approved, and on my online account it says the card is being produced. That was last Friday, and today I got a notice that my interview is scheduled for the N400. Now, my question is, should I still expect them to interview me for the I-75, or that's good to go?
Well, I'd frame it a little bit differently. I assume that you're applying for citizenship on the 3-year rule.
Correct.
Yeah. So then what the way you should frame it in your mind is, Jim, are they still is my marriage still at issue? And of course, when you apply on the 3-year rule, your marriage is still an issue. So I would bring updated marital evidence. I would bring my spouse. I would assume that they're going to talk to me about it. So I would say, you can say, hey, you guys just approved the 751, but it's all still fair game.
So I would just go with the assumption that they're going to likely to interview me or ask me relevant questions about the I-751.
Again, it's not the 751 that's been approved. It's about the marriage itself. The marriage is fair game on an N400 filed on the 3-year rule. So I just disagree with the way you're framing it. Yeah, the marriage condition.
Okay, and I understand. So yeah, so basically the N400 is based on marriage. So the marriage is a criteria here, and they're gonna check with me if
Now in most 3-year Nats cases, they spend much more time on whether the person deserves to become a citizen than they do on the marriage. The marriage usually, like, as long as the spouse shows up and you got some updated marital evidence, that's usually all they need.
Okay, when you say marital evidence, is anything other than what I already submitted, like my marriage certificate, my child?
Updated evidence. Pretend.
Okay,
pretend
most recent.
Pretend your 751 hasn't been decided. Pretend that you need to give them stuff between when you filed for the evidence you submitted proved that the marriage was valid a year ago. Now you got to prove that it's valid now.
Okay, got it. So do you think me transferring money into my wife's account from my business checking account to a personal checking account is a good proof of good evidence?
You mean like
giving her money?
A lump sum payment as a reward for you getting your 10-year green card? I don't know.
No, on a monthly basis, like paying her for her expenses.
I don't like the way you're framing you keep framing things in ways I don't like.
No, what I meant was like for housekeeping, for upkeep, for housekeeping, like for groceries and all. Because we live in the same house.
And does she work?
No, she does not.
So, yeah, so maybe you're just talking a little bit traditionally, but I would just frame it as this is our money. We use it together. Not I put money into her account. Yeah, this is Robert's right. It seems too transactional when you frame it that way.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, Jim.
Bye, buddy. Yep. Had a lot of side characters there. All right, let's go to October. Oh, I wish it were October. I don't need a hot summer. Hello, October.
Hi, Jim. Big fan. First of all, I saw your video, the green card marriage, fake, the thing that you made. It was amazing. It was like top grade cinema. I feel they should license it to Netflix. It was hilarious. It was amazing.
That's great. there have been a lot of people commenting like they're like, how did he sneak a camera into the interview? They thought it was real.
Literally, it was like incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody was like acting like a professional actor. I was like, oh
That's
my
fun.
gosh.
That's awesome. Thanks
Yes,
for
sir.
watching.
Sir, yeah. So I have a question. I joined the military. I have a 2-year conditional green card, and I just heard in a few of these live sessions ago that you said that the biggest mistake people make is not removing conditions on 2-year and just applying for a citizenship. Is that correct?
From the military, you mean?
No, you said it generally, like if you don't remove conditions,
well,
you
that's
should
because
not.
our little Danish friend got in trouble. There's that reported case where the guy has 4 kids, one on the way. He came from Denmark. He got a conditional green card, and he never filed his 751. And then he went to naturalize, and they arrested him and put him in detention, and they're trying to deport him.
Gosh, sounds horrible. So that's why I'm provoked to ask you this question. That my 2-year conditional green card still not expired, but I'm gonna go to basic training in August. That's like 2 weeks shy of the 90-day, pre-expiration date of my 2-year green card.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen there? Like, am I gonna get citizenship directly? Because
about the military, I don't know. I don't pay any attention to that military citizenship stuff because number one, there's never a need for an immigration lawyer. Number two, I think they make shit up and they make promises they can't deliver on. So I don't really know how that will apply. But I will tell you that I have noticed an uptick in people who get a conditional green card and apply for citizenship in the military. I have noticed more scrutiny of the underlying marriage. So what I would do, I mean, your spouse is going to file the 751 with you, right?
Not in the military. It's just like me. They just have an expedited situation there. They literally have a USCIS officer at the military training base for us.
Just talk to them then.
Yeah, right. All right. And just in case if that does not work, by the time I'll be back, I'll just have like 1 month left on my green card to expire. Do you think 1 month's enough for me to file the whole thing? It is?
Yeah, I mean, but if I'm you and I know I'm going to be gone for 10 weeks and it's the 10 weeks and 8 of those 10 weeks are in my 751 period, I would have that shit all done and ready before I go and then just supplement it with whatever other marital evidence you get when you come back. But I have that shit done.
You mean you would file it before going to basic?
No, okay. I'd have it sitting there on my desk in case something happened and I needed to file it.
Understood. Awesome. And yeah, that's all my question was. I'm a really big fan, and thank you for doing this for people. There are so many of us who cannot afford like a consultancy sort of fees, and you're just doing a great job.
Awesome.
And
well, good luck with basic training, and thank you for your service.
Thank you. Take care. Have a great one. Bye.
Yeah, for sure. Julie says, talk to your JAG officer, and you should be good. When you report to basic or AIT, they will work you through it. Thank you, Julius. All right. Got time for a couple more. Let's go to Cam. Hello, Cam.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great.
I have a quick question about, I spoke a long time ago with you, but now this is a different situation. I had my wife, she had an interview, her naturalization interview in January 31st of this year. And she was given a letter of recognition to approve. And the officer mentioned that after her interview, she said, you've been passed and you just wait a couple of weeks for your naturalization ceremony schedule. And now it's been 3 months. We still waiting. I don't know what to do next.
So did she apply on the 3-year rule or the 5-year rule?
3-year rule. She had a 2-year conditional green card. Mm-hmm. We applied for the I-751, I think it's the removed condition. When we applied for that, it took, they sent her a letter they're extending her conditional green card for another 48 months. But then when her 3-year was about to be done, 90 days prior, her green card, the naturalization was the condition was getting expired. We applied, 3 years within our marriage, we applied for
citizenship. So you applied for citizenship, and a year later you applied for citizenship.
Yes, exactly.
Has the 751 been approved?
No, the officer during her naturalization interview, she mentioned that she is going to approve the I-751, I think, and then she said she's also gonna recommend to approve for your naturalization. But it's been, like as I said, 3 months. We haven't heard anything back. I don't know why is it taking so longer. I've been through the similar process, and I got my naturalization after like 2 weeks of going through my interview.
Did the officer interview you at all for the 751 or no?
No, I was there. We went together in the room, and she wouldn't ask me. She said, "What was the reason of you coming to interview with her?" And I said, "Well, it's a marriage based. So I thought I was supposed to be here." And then when we went inside her office, she made me sit in a corner, basically in a chair, and she said, "You're not going to say anything. You're just going to sit here and listen." And I said, "Okay." So she asked all the questions for my wife, and my wife did an amazing job. She passed the interview, and then she got a letter of recommendation.
Has your wife ever been out of status?
Never.
Any kind of immigration problems or anything?
Never.
Did you have a sense as to whether this officer was experienced or inexperienced?
This officer seemed experienced, but she was also very intimidating. Like it felt like she was trying to make her like fail, like the interview. Like she was very aggressive, and she was like very, very loud. Like I was intimidated, and I was surprised that my wife passed, to be honest with you. Like we felt like she was intentionally trying to fail my wife for the civics test and the interview, because she was just asking some crazy questions, and I was like shocked. I was like, what could be the answer for this?
Like the hardest ones of all.
The hardest ones of all. Like my wife is the homestead wife, and so she doesn't work. So for example, one of the questions were, "Hey, like, do you owe any money to government?" And then my wife's like, "No, I do not owe any government money to government." And then she's like, "Okay, so you don't work, you don't have income, your husband works. How do you know that you don't owe any money to government?" And my wife said, "Because I would have known if I would have owed some money." So then she would just keep pressing her on that question and multiple questions like that. And then I was like, well, she answered no. What could be the other reason? She said, "Did you get any letter from a government that you owe money?" And then she said, "No." She said, "Okay, that's what I'm trying to understand. Ask you if you got any letter." Well, my wife said no anyways.
Yeah, there are some really dumb immigration officers, and there's some really ignorant immigration officers. And there's a difference between being a dumb immigration officer and an ignorant immigration officer. What country is your wife from?
Afghanistan.
Yeah, so that's just some cart bullshit. They're just trying to play it out. So here's the answer to your question. You're actually beyond 3 months. You're almost to 120 days.
Okay.
If 120 days go by, your wife can file a lawsuit in court and ask a judge to make them decide the case within like 60 days. And that's probably what you're going to need to do.
Okay. I have a couple of other friends. They told me that they requested a name change, and their naturalization ceremony, it took them about 17 months. The other one said it took his 12 months because they requested a name change. We didn't request a name change. We just requested the last name to be changed to my last name, and that was it. Like her first name was stayed the same.
So that is a name. That is a name change. So that does extend it, but it shouldn't be 17 months. No, they just think that they can't do an adequate. And plus, these Trump assholes, they're all saying we don't have proper vetting of these Afghan people, so we are going to slow down these cases. So if I were you, on day 121, I'm walking into court and suing them and saying, "Let's hurry up. We're not wasting time with you jackoffs dragging out my wife's case for 17 months."
So since I don't know the process, should I hire a lawyer, attorney to help me with this process?
You have to. Yeah. I mean, we do this all the time. This is my favorite thing to do.
Okay.
But there's a special law for people that are applying for citizenship. Like we sue them for all kinds of delays, but citizenship is its own special thing. And it basically says 120 days go by, you can go into court and ask a judge to order it. And those cases go very fast.
Can I contact your office for this?
Yeah, for sure. Say, "This is Cam. I was on the show. I was the last caller on Tuesday night, and I want to talk to Jim about a lawsuit."
Okay. Got it. Thank you so much, Jim.
Bye, Cam. See you, buddy.
See you. Bye.
All right. So, don't know if I'll do a show tomorrow. Might not. Right now, I'm going to go for a walk on the beach. If these stupid Cardinals don't lose the game, oh my God, what the hell is going on? All right. I hope you guys have a great night. This week's shows are going to be pop-ups just because I'm traveling. So remember, text the word show to 314-470-3300, SHOW to 314-470-3300, and you'll get a text when I'm going live, and we'll try to answer your questions that way. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks, everybody on TikTok. Thanks, everybody on YouTube. See ya. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.